Yo, what's good, y'all? Project Man. Today we're back again on the video. This is gonna be DJ and then Mud Trucker. I gotta hold the microphone like this because all the audio plays from like right here. But anyway, I just wanted to get into it. So like, if it sounds like I'm cutting a promo, it's funny because I'm about to talk about wrestling. But if it sounds like I'm about to cut a promo, then that's why. Just to give some further context, because my freaking mic, over here, this thing got dropped. It fell, so we got to improvise, and because the little headphone jack thing is tripping. But anyway, long story short, Saturday night's main event was electric. Saturday night's main event, for those who don't know, is a WWE show that they have on certain Saturdays. That's why it's called Saturday night's main event, because it's always on a Saturday, and all that good stuff. But I wanted to just get into real quick what went down on the show, man. So we opened up with Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu, and I'm thinking going into this like, this is one of the matches I'm looking forward to, other than the Fatal 4-Way for the championship opportunity at the Royal Rumble for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship. The first thing I was like, man, I'm looking forward to this match. It'd be just a good styles clash between Cody and Jacob, and they said, well, you talk about a styles clash. Oh, we gonna clash, all right. And that's how the match opened up. Jacob makes his entrance. The crowd loves him. Does his little pre-match promo. Cody Rhodes goes in there. He does the whoa at the top of the ramp. But when he goes for the second whoa, where he goes to the top of the turnbuckle, Jacob, in the middle of him going, whoa, in his entrance that goes along with his song, Jacob freaking nails them, and they just start fighting. And what I love about WWE fights is like, or when they are brawling, is when they go to the stands, like where the fans are at, and then they go to like the concession stand. I think it's something that just makes that visual way more fun than just fighting around the ring. It's so much of a cool visual when they, go up the steps and fight up there. But yeah, so they were beating each other. Like I said, I'm not gonna go long on this, but anyway, they were fighting each other all across the arena. And let me just say, man, the security guards in WWE are so useless. Like, they don't even try to hold them back. They just kind of throw their hands in the way, go, stop. Don't fight, guys. They don't even actually grab a hold of them until it's time, I guess. They don't even try to actually grab a hold of them, bro. They need to get better security guards, bro. They need to get people that ain't going to be afraid to grab these wrestlers and say, hey, stop it. But anyway, they were brawling each other. They got the fans involved in it. The fans are obviously having a good time. And Cody even throws water or something, or throws a beverage at Jacob and spitting the water at him or whatever he was throwing at him. They was doing all types of fighting up the ramp. And then there was a part where Cody threw, I think it's like a recycling bin or whatever, and he freaking threw it right at Jacob's head. And that's just so funny and cartoonish when it's just somebody is bonked with the freaking trash can. That's such a freaking funny, cartoonish visual. And so Cody did it with a security guard too. Like, he bonked him with it. And then right before a security guard as he's breaking up the fight, he was like, wait, guys, wait till because they're both going to be in the Royal Rumble. They were like, hey, think about the Rumble. And as he's saying that, Jacob freaking grabs a hold of him. And I think he delivered like a Uranagi or some type of move through the announce table. And I already knew when I saw the table, I was like, yeah, that table's going to break. And Jacob did proceed to throw him through the announce table. And then they fought back into the arena. And boy, it was cold out there. I heard in Canada, it was like -7 degrees or something. Yeah, y'all are troopers for dealing with that freaking dealing with feet of snow. But anyway, they got back towards the crowd, and they didn't get back to the ring, but they kind of got, I guess it was like kind of close to the barricade or whatever. They were on some type of platform that was close to the barricade, and boom, we get another guy that comes into play, and it is Drew McIntyre, our WWE champion, and he beats up Jacob and hits a low blow on Cody Rhodes, and he then pushes Jacob off the top of that platform they were, and Jacob goes through a table, and then after Drew hit Cody with a low blow, he power bombs him through a table that was on below the platform that they were on, and he stands tall, and that was it. And then I think after that happened, which was great, it was a great opener. And I'm not in it. On one hand, I wanted to see the match because they, like I said, it was a nice styles clash when you know how both of them wrestle. It's a fun styles clash. But at the same time, I understood that with Cody just losing the WWE Championship recently and Jacob just now coming back, that funny enough happened on the same night Jacob's return and Cody losing the title because the whole thing of Drew escaped the cage and all that good stuff. But there was no way either one of these guys could have lost, so I actually wasn't even against the fact that it was a no contest in a sense that we never even got the match started. We kind of somewhat got a match with them brawling, but They advertised the fight, and you got to fight. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it made sense because neither one of those guys could lose. One just came back in Jacob, and then one in Cody just lost the WWE Championship. So a massive loss and a guy just coming back, it was not really practical for either guy to lose. So I understand why they did what they did. But then Jacob, or not Jacob, I think Drew McIntyre, after they played the little commercials afterwards, Drew, I think, said like that was basically a warning shot to the rest of the roster of who comes after me and stuff like that. So that was him sending his little warning shot there, taking out both guys. But anyway, fun way to open the show. Did not expect that at all. Was not expecting that going into this. I thought we were just going to see a good old-fashioned wrestling contest with it being a little... Because you know how there's the wrestling matches where they start with a lockup, but then there's ones where it's a normal match, but they start out a lot more fast because they're, you know, a little heated, and that's the whole thing with Jacob and Cody, is that they got that heated situation with Jacob pretty much costing him the championship in some way, shape, or form because they both wanted to beat up Drew, and and through that, they beat up each other, and Drew escaped the cage in their 3 stages of hell match. But some people are saying it could lead to a triple threat because now they all have an issue with each other, Cody, Jacob, and Drew. I don't know if they're going to do that for Mania or maybe Elimination Chamber, because the Elimination Chamber, I would think, needs an important match. So I don't know if they're going to do it at Chamber or if they're going to do it at WrestleMania, because then you would have to have Jacob or Cody win the Elimination Chamber, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know I doubt Cody's going to win the Rumble. It would have to be Jacob or Cody winning the Chamber. If Drew's going into WrestleMania with the championship, it'd have to be like something like Jacob, which would be dope to be in Jacob Fatu being in an Elimination Chamber. That'd go hard. So if they do something like that where he wins the Chamber and maybe we somehow get a triple threat with Cody and all them going for the belt, but it's funny because that'd be another year Cody would be fighting for the championship. I think that'd be like a 4th year on the road that Cody's in a WWE Championship match, 4 years straight. But anyway, I don't know. They could do a triple threat at Mania, or they could do a triple threat at Elimination Chamber, because Lord knows they're going to be in Chicago, and they need some heavy hitters for that show outside of just the chamber matches. So either way, I think it'll be fun. I would probably prefer a singles match for Drew, just so that you can tell that one story going into the Mania. But if they want to do a triple threat, it should still be fun. That's just my preference. But anyway, moving on. The next match, I think this was the women's tag match for the tag team championship. So this was the first actual match, like scheduled contest that went through and we got. So this was a fun match. They did pretty good. Just notable spots I remember. Liv Morgan hits that like crucifix like bomb where she kind of gets you in that crucifix pin and it ends in like a move somehow. And I forgot if somebody called it like, I forgot if it was like called the home wrecker or something. But that was a nice move that she did there. And then there was definitely a botch where I think Liv or somebody was pinning Io, and Rhea was way too far to break up the pin. So the ref had to kind of stop his count because Rhea didn't make it there in time. So the referee kind of pretty much stopped his count. And I was like, looking at like, oh, ref, I think I'm going to question you. I might have to flag you on your decision there. But anyway, that happened. But yeah, then I think another thing that was done. What was another thing that was done? Man. So there was a nice sequence with Roxanne, and they worked pretty well together. Roxanne and Liv Morgan, they worked pretty well together because Roxanne did a hurricanrana off the top rope to Rhea Ripley, which led into Liv jumping off the middle rope and doing like a code breaker type maneuver, and that was dope. And then like Roxanne hit a dive on the EO on the outside. That was a nice little sequence they did right there, and it did not get the pinfall. But guess what? We had good old Big Mama Sexy, as they say, Raquel comes out there and she wrecks shop for show ski and a half, man, as she freaking delivered a nasty power bomb to EO on the floor, like just straight on that freaking mat, or that, the floor where it's like only like that one layer of padding on the floor, whereas the rest of it is just concrete. I said, when I saw that, not only did I go like, ooh, but I said, I know that just drove every bit of oxygen out of her body. Like, geez, man. So Raquel comes in there helping her team out. And then I was like, where is Stephanie Vaquero? Where is La Primera? And you hear her music, and she comes out there and she beats up Raquel, and she throws her over the barricade, and they fight off into the audience or whatever. And the finish, I think, was it Liv getting hit with? Was it Liv getting hit with the Riptide and then like Io hitting a moonsault. I think that was the finish. And then I think Rhea, yeah, she got the all in pin where she freaking puts her legs over the top of her head. I know that's a dope visual. But yeah, she goes all in on the pin, and 1, 2, 3, she pinned Liv as Rhea Io retain their tag team championship. So a really fun match. Probably rated like an 8 out of 10, maybe 7.5, 8 out of 10. It was a really fun match. And I like how they book Raquel as like this dominant figure, which I wish they would have booked her as that when she first joined the Judgment Day. She should have been like, just dominating and beating people up. She was kind of doing that to help Liv with her matches, but then she would like go on to like lose matches. And I think that was a mistake. But I'm glad they're seemingly trying to make her more as the dominant figure that she should have been when she first came back and joined the Judgment Day. But nonetheless, fun match, nice drama there with Raquel getting in there, added some pacing to the match, even though it was already going pretty well, added some pacing to the match there. So yeah, pretty good match there. The co-main event of the evening, only 4 matches. Co-main event of the evening was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, they've had history from when they wrestled in New Japan. They actually brought that up. Wrestled in a different wrestling promotion, New Japan in 2016. Apparently, that was the last match AJ had before he debuted in the WWE in 2016. The Royal Rumble, obviously, he came in at the Royal Rumble 2016. And, him and Shinsuke had a feud, or as I like to say, the battle of the low blows. Because when you look at that feud, it was a lot of that. Like them just costing each other matches or whatever with a low blow or whatever. But anyway, brought up the history and brought up how the fact that, when Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble, he challenged AJ for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 34, which was unfortunately a disappointing match between two guys that can go well in the ring. It did not live up to the hype. But I can't say... or the hype as far as like the hype for their wrestling ability. You thought it was going to be like this great all-timer match because of how well they can wrestle, but it was not the case at WrestleMania. But I feel like they kind of made up for it here, man, because they hit each other pretty hard in this match. And it just was a good match, from them hitting their moves. Shinsuke hitting his like, the little German suplex where he kind of slides underneath and hits the guy with the German as he's holding on to the rope. And AJ hitting all his stuff, this torture rack powerbomb and going for the calf crusher, trying to submit him like how he submitted Gunther. And the story of this match was basically AJ really needing to find the best version of himself because he's going to have his career on the line against Gunther at the Royal Rumble. So that was the kind of story they were going with. And trying to think, there was a nice sequence where, there was actually a nasty one where Shinsuke, I think, hit some type of, because they were striking each other, they were delivering great leg kicks, and they were throwing a forearm at each other. They had a yay boo exchange with forearms. That was really good. And I think Shinsuke was going for, he was going to hit AJ with something, and AJ freaking caught him right in the face with a knee as he like ducked down. He freaking caught him right in the face with a knee. That was great. And the way Shinsuke was like countering into the armbar, like those are always clean. When he goes into the armbar on AJ, where he like, maybe AJ's going to throw a punch or whatever, and Shinsuke like counters it into an armbar, he always is able to be pretty smooth at those transitions there. But that was a nasty knee, like I said, that AJ had delivered when I guess Shinsuke was kind of reaching for the leg. He just freaking nailed him with that knee. That was clean. And then there was one where he was going to go for, I think AJ was going to go for Shinsuke was going to go for the King Shasa, his running knee, and that got caught. AJ went for his Styles Clash. Then that got rolled up. Then that got rolled up. Then I think it got rolled up again, like when they were like just rolling or whatever, going for pin attempts. And then that led to AJ. I think he wasn't able to get the Styles Clash, but he goes onto the outside of the ring. Obviously, Shinsuke is trying to as AJ gets out to the outside of the ring, the whole thing was that AJ had been working on the knee to the point where when Shinsuke was coming out the corner to deliver the King Shasa, he actually like had to stop he runs into the guy with the knee, and he had to actually stop running because he was feeling the effects of the knee, which AJ was working the whole match, which led to AJ hitting a knee of his own. And then the match finish was him taking Shinsuke's leg and bouncing it off the top rope, hitting the phenomenal forearm. And then right after he hit the phenomenal forearm, it was a clean transition because he hits the phenomenal forearm just clean. And right after, as Shinsuke is freaking rolled up and on his back, grabs his freaking leg for the Styles Clash, and that was the finish. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, great match. I probably get an 8.5, 9 out of 10 match. It was really good. The crowd was into it, especially as it got more going. And it was nice and physical, man. They definitely proved that, hey, we could do way better than what we did at Mania on our Saturday night's main event. But nonetheless, they did their thing. Really good co-main event. A lot of these matches so far, the beginning was fun, and the last two matches were either good or fun matches. So they were on a roll here for sure. In the last match, the main event was the Fatal 4-Way between my boy, probably my favorite right now, Trick Williams versus Damian Priest versus Randy Orton versus the hometown boy, as they were in the Canada, Montreal, Canada, Sami Zayn. So I figured Sami Zayn was going to win going into this match. And as everybody made their entrance, I think the only notable thing I will say is Randy Orton obviously did his belly-to-back suplex that he does on the announce table, where he picks everybody up and drops them on the announce table. He did that to everybody. Sami foiled an RKO and then went for the Aluva kick and got caught with an RKO. And then I think Damian Priest hit his South of Heaven choke slam on Randy Orton at one point of the match. Sami hit an exploder on Trick and Damian at one point. And I think it was a nice move. Trick caught Damian Priest with or somebody, where he like kind of spun and hit him with that little Harlem kick that Booker T throws up. But that was a nice one. And I like in this match that they were telling, because Trick Williams was the only heel in this match. So I like that the story of this match was like Trick basically was capitalizing on everybody's finish. Like every time somebody hit a finisher, Trick would throw him out the ring and go for the pin, because he was the only heel in this match. So it made sense that that's how you get that story over, that he's the only bad guy in this, because he's going to try to throw everybody out and capitalize on their finisher. But match ended with Priest, I think, was going to, oh yeah, Priest had got Trick Williams on the outside, and Trick tried to go for a punch, and Damian Priest nailed him with a freaking head kick, which knocks Trick off the apron. And then that led to Sami, because he was in the corner after that, after he hit that kick on Trick, and he got a haluva kick to his freaking face for his troubles. It falls down, and Sami falls into the cover, and it's the 1, the 2, and then Randy is trying to get back in the ring on time, but the referee had hit the 3 count before Randy could break up the count. And Sami Zayn is your number 1 contender for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, which will be at 1 p.m. my time. So that'll be interesting to watch the Royal Rumble in the afternoon instead of at night. But anyway, last thing that happened was Drew tried to come out there and beat him up like how he beat Cody and Jacob, but Sami foiled it. I think he hit him with some type of, I don't know if he hit him with a move or a strike or something, but he ended up throwing Drew over the top rope outside the ring and basically letting him know like he's coming for the championship. And I don't think Sami will win, even though it'd be great because they love him over there in Saudi. But I think they're going to have Drew be the big bad heel and go into WrestleMania with the championship. And Sami will hopefully either, some people say he maybe should win at WrestleMania, but like win the championship at WrestleMania. Sami's obviously qualified to be WWE champion, but I don't know if they're going to save it for like a Money in the Bank or a King of the Ring, like one of their other bigger major times to become champion. Because I do think he'll become champion this year, but I don't know if they'll do it at WrestleMania. They won't do it at the Royal Rumble. I don't know if they'll do it at WrestleMania or maybe like King of the Ring, so that you can kind of tell that story of how he's really had to earn it. But anyway, really great show. I probably rate Saturday night's main event maybe a 9 out of 10. Because it was a good show, great brawl, fun match between the ladies with the tag team championships. Really good match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke, and a really good main event. I'd probably say main event was probably like maybe 8 out of 10. It was a fun match for sure. I wouldn't say like one of the greatest Fatal 4-Ways I've seen, but still nonetheless a great match. So yeah, show was really good. Probably the best Saturday night's main event we've gotten in a while. But yeah. It was really fun. It was really good, and I would say it was enjoyable for sure. But anyway, y'all comment down below if you are one of my wrestling fans. What was your favorite match of the night, and what do you think is going to happen come the Royal Rumble? Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? All that good stuff. I'll be making my predictions on that the next week. Or I guess that would now be this upcoming week, as I'm recording this on Sunday. Sunday morning at like 12 in the morning. But anyway, love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Recommend the videos for me to comment down below. And at the end, comment down below other videos, I should say, for me to react to and all that good stuff. And we will get onto it as soon as possible. Keep running up the likes, comments, and subscriptions. And at the end of the day, when I say it is what it is, what it's going to be is this certified prodigy. Continuing to come out with the content, the videos, the bangers over and over again for you guys. Doing my thing and doing it well to the best of my ability. And I shall see y'all in the next video, man. That's the vibe that DJ's on. And y'all like it, as I'll see you down the road in the next upcoming videos. Post every single day. Post notification bell so that you know the second we drop a new video. And I shall see y'all next time, man.